I'd like to focus on the important issue of economics, which includes discussions of alternative currency and banking systems. I want to emphasize 4A in our agenda. The source of the economic credit should be the qualified electors at the grassroots level. I've been interacting quite a bit recently with the Beacon 37 group, Republic group, and they've got their own monetary committee, and a prominent scholar therein is John Root. He's got what he calls the common good economic system. It's an alternative currency and banking system. He's even got credit cards that can be used off of it, but it's still not very popular because, well, a number of points. But the alternative economic system that I've been inspired to embrace would authorize even people that are not willing to sign the qualified electors form, just people that need jobs and are paranoid about getting in organizations too deep. There could be exceptions granted so that anybody that needs a job and that seems basically an honorable person could be issued a line of credit. A line of credit, so that it's the social safety net concept, a minimal standard of living for everyone, but they're under the town constable at their local jurisdiction would be their banker, and he would decide how much credit each individual would have within his township jurisdiction. And the larger community, people manufacturing widgets out of New York, they would want to send some to Texas here, where I'm at, and those widgets would need a line of credit so that people in Texas could purchase those widgets. They could purchase them with the credit that the people in Texas would be assigned, but the credit has to flow from New York to Texas. And so the town constable isn't here in Texas wouldn't be a large enough jurisdiction. It would have to go up to a national level through the hierarchy as we've generally described, and similar to Exodus 18. But those credits would be units of value that the township community and each of its members would consume. It would go from New York State through the other states to Texas, down to the counties, down to the precincts, down to the townships, and then under the township, if a particular constituent or potential constituent wanted to use all of their credits on the widgets out of New York, purchasing them, they could do that. But their town constable would be in charge of saying, sorry, you've reached your quota. You consumed 400 widgets there from New York, and there's nothing else to give you. I hope you can grow your own food, or you got alternative sources of income, because there's no other, when you spend all your money on widgets out of New York, then there's nothing left. And so the regulation, the throttling of the ability of people to abuse the system and consume more of the total goods and services of our nation than what is conscionable and fair, that would be regulated by the town constables at the first level. And this is similar to the judicial process, because at the next level, if one township is consuming more in total goods and services than another township, see, the individual townships should be in rough proportional balance to how much goods and services each township is consuming. And like at the individual level, there are people that are capable of producing way more goods and services for potential benefit of society as compared with other people. And to a much lesser extent, townships will probably be, some of the townships will be more capable of producing goods and services of value than other townships. Some townships might be centered around a gold mine, and they're producing lots of gold that's really valuable for everybody, and everybody recognizes that, and so that township is getting more credits because of the value of the total amount of goods and services that they are producing, as compared with flatland farmers that just are having a bad season and maybe they're not producing as much. So it's a balancing. The concept here comes into play of organic law and fairness. And when the decision-making process is decentralized along the Exodus 18 model hierarchy, so that the local leaders of each of the communities is doing what's fair, and it's, all the decisions are open and public, then that brings the light of day and the sense of fairness into a real public and open type of forum, and people have opportunities to make objections if somebody is getting more than what is considered to be a fair share of the system. That would be that's a necessary ingredient, is to have open forums to talk about those things. That's what the town meeting would be all about, as well as the precinct level 100 court meeting would be talking about those things. So, and I'm working on documents to try to put that in more coherent and solid manner that can be reviewed by the other groups. But I do believe that these kind of ideas are going to move forward soon. We've got a number of propositions on the table with the peace officer constables, and we've got a number of really powerful tools in our toolbox that any one of them could get traction, including these economic issues. It could happen real quick, and we could be on a national, recognized, we could obtain national recognition in a very short time, in a very quick happening moment here, I do believe. From this economics issue, or from the peace officers issue, or probably 4 or 5 others. But anyway, I wanted to refocus again on those economic issues. I have been working on documents in the background discussing them.